I got my homeboy, you know, one of the people that happened to give me my first interview. You know what I'm saying? So I am so happy to have the honor and pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to have my guy, the great BG Ali, you know what I'm saying, from the On Us podcast show. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and get out a little light real quick for y'all, in case y'all not knowing. That is my guy's channel right there, the On Us podcast show, man. If
So,
y'all already haven't went and done it, please go like, comment, and subscribe to my boy's podcast because it's a great podcast show. I had the honor and pleasure of being on that show a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? And both interviews was lovely. Of course, my boy invited me with open arms. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great pleasure. You know what I'm saying, to have him here at our great establishment here at the Brown Table at Swanglow, man. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening with you, BG, man? How you been, bro?
oh man, living life, loving life, you know what I'm saying, loving freedom, you know what I'm saying, doing what we do, man. Make sure that all real niggas from every walk of this life, whether it's the ism, you know what I'm saying, just we join forces, man. We put the word out. Make people recognize that we still alive, no matter what situations we in, man. That's it. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, it's interesting that you say that because, you know, us being able to unite in the way that we did was exceptional within itself because it was during the time when I was getting ready to make the transition into doing podcasting myself. You know what I mean? And I was just, you know, basically I was kind of being an understudy without you knowing it. You know what I'm saying? So being able to come on your platform and get a taste and a feel for being able to interview somebody appropriately, you know what I'm saying, the mannerisms and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying. You was a great example, bro. You know what I'm saying. So it is definitely being an honor being able to have that connection with you, have you back, you know what I'm saying, and be able to, be able to give your testimony on what you
Man,
got going on in life,
man.
you know what I'm saying, with the podcast and everything that you got going on, man. You got some exceptional things going on, man. Do you mind shedding a little light on this stuff?
Oh man, I appreciate first off that, you know what I'm saying, you find me, you know what I'm saying, that value to even just be on your platform, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I done checked out a few and see where you going and be like, I don't know if I begged to be on, your platform and support it, but my thing is about, you know, the freedom, man, the part of freedom of just knowing that we've been in some situations to where when you move honorably and sometimes they want to put us in situations to where we dishonor ourselves in order to smell or taste freedom, and then you have people that's just gonna still stand up for to be honored. That's an honor within itself. And I'm just, here to, let people know once you get out, it ain't hard. You're gonna go through some few bumps and roses in this shit for sure. But if you serious about being free, or you gonna stay free. You serious about being real, you gonna stay real. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna usurp, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you get to the questions and you know what I'm saying, as I
I
interview.
understand.
I,
Well,
I I know what it is, what is expected of me being interviewed. You feel what I'm saying?
that's definitely, you went in the direction of something that I wanted to shed a little light on. You know what I mean? As far as um because I know you went through the system yourself. You know, you spent quite a few years, behind the walls. So you got a taste of both sides. You got a taste of that side, and then you was actually able to gradually go from that life into the life that you're constructing right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to know. and because I know it's a daily process. You know what I'm saying? I know it's it's a struggle, it's a process, but also it's appreciated to be able to have to go through those things because you know you're going towards a certain destination and you know it's going to take a certain amount of whatever to get there, but you're getting there the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to know, like, because I plan on, you know, dibbing and dabbing into a lot of few things. You know what I'm saying? Once this journey right here, in my life, transition over into, you know, a more broader, I'm gonna say, scope of life. You know, I plan on dibbing and dabbing into a few things. So I think it's important to know from the perspective of a person that has been through the system and been through the things that you have been through and has gradually made it to where you at now.
Okay. So, and give me a direct. I understand the angle, but I want to know, like, as you asking me for is like the day you touch down, or what particular platform or program you gonna take or do once you get out. You know what I'm saying, to stay
Okay,
on track.
let's start with let's start with once you get out, having a job set up for you, or before or after. What's more? What do you think would be more beneficial towards you?
Okay, so to be honest, I didn't have no job set up, but the thirst of not being part of the recidivism rate, it's nothing is going to get in your way. So my first day out was conflicting because I tried to go to a particular halfway house, what they call it. So they dropped my P code and they sent me to fire camp.
Yeah,
Um, I didn't want to. They wanted an address, and I said, "Look, I don't have no address to give you, and I won't give you an address because I'm not going to stay with nobody that's going to put me under pressure to, I'm not a sorry type of dude. So I'm a trip contribute to bills and certain things, and I don't want nobody to put me in a situation that's going to cause me to get in this situation, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So I went to uh, counselor and we talked, and they had programs. So they got programs for everybody. However, they sent me to a program that was a lockdown program for dolphins and, what I'm saying, people who was drug addicts and everything. And so me
mm,
being doing all that time, 12 and a half, almost 13 years, I'm trying to play the role in all means that I can play it. But, I got my cell phone and my family and my daughters and my kids calling me. And I just be like, man, I can't do this shit hiding phones. It make me feel like I'm back in prison and woo. So
exactly.
what my roommate at the time was like, look, man, I got some dummy phones for sale. So they selling dummy phones. I don't want to
Mm,
expose the gang because this is almost like, do some whack 100 bullshit, and I don't want to do that. But anyway,
yeah,
I was like, I don't want to be on that level. So, I took that and I talked to another dude who I knew, and I was like, man, I was just up there with you. He said, man, you don't even fit the description of a dope fiend. Well, talk to the counselor, and boom, boom, boom. And so I went and talked to the counselor and told her, like, yeah, I ain't trying to be here. Like, they ain't on my record. I don't got no years of that and what. So she checked my record, was like, okay, yeah, you got a lot of violence. I'm gonna see if I can get you out of here within 48 hours. So on everything within 48 hours, I was sent, what I'm saying, to a transition house. So to make
yeah,
a long story short, and not to swim into nothing, the transition house, they give you opportunities to go out, search for a job, woo. I'm illiterate when it comes to computers. I ain't knowing like everything, your resume, everything's on the computer. So I'm in a thing, their living room, and I'm on the computer, and so I get a job through a temp agency, and got my job, and from that job, I saved up. I got a car now. While I get the car, I'm trying to get my license. They tell me I got a hold on my license because of old DUI. And you be mindful, I just did 12 and a half years, almost 13 years.
Exactly.
So I'm riding on the bike like 4 in the morning, man, going to work, going to group to do the DUI to get my license. With the sky opening up, I could see heaven and hell at the same time, thunder and lightning. But I was just determined not to be a failure. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now to answer it direct, so people won't think like, "Oh, you asked him a question, he all everywhere." If a job ready for you, you more inclined to be even successful.
Yeah.
However, during the time that we done and they let you out them gates,
Yeah.
um, you're gonna be successful regardless. If that answers your question. So whether
Yeah.
it come easy or whether it come hard when it comes to occupational, you know what I'm saying, service, you know what I'm saying, to reach financial stability, you're gonna do it either way. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now, not to trick the minds of, you know what I'm saying, people, to have something waiting for you, you're more inclined to succeed,
Yeah.
for sure. On that note.
Okay. Okay. Hey, so after you was able to get your car and probably your living situation, you know what I mean, pretty much um out the way, did you find it more of a struggle like trying to fit in with, like regular everyday society people? Coming off of doing the 12 years that you had did it feel strange to you, like trying to transition back into society?
Good question, man. I like that. So it took me back to the 80s when a lot of homies was getting out, and I used to be like, this dude extra. Still just doing too much. Oh, he's an actor. So I go to the Walmart and my daughter turned the corner fast with the basket, and I grab the basket and grab her. Why are you turning these corners so fast? You ain't up on like what could be on the side of it? And she looking at me like, oh my God, like I do this all the time with my mom and everything. Um, if we gonna be real and we gonna speak the real and we're gonna get a real and we're gonna tell people how to give us a moment or opportunity to be better in our everyday living, it ain't easy. Cause I was like eating one time with my daughter and took her and we had, I can remember what we had. I grabbed two boiled eggs and muffin and a coffee. We was at Starbucks and was by elementary and the bell rung. And I was like, just check and make sure it ain't none of us and get down. And she looked and then I looked and caught myself. So for the first months of being programmed for survival, you're gonna be on survival. And that just bottom line. Now I understood when I used to laugh at my big homies and seeing them thinking they was being extra out. You can't just go from one mindset to another mindset and think that that mindset is instantaneous.
Yeah.
But the power of the human mind and the ability to function and be better than anything that you ever um, been or be better. Let me phrase it: to be better than you ever been is the power of the mind. I always want to be better than my better or greater than my great. So it allows you to like ask questions now and be honest and hey daughter, you took that wrong. She's like that was weird. I was like, yeah, in prison when the bell go off, it's intentional danger around or something that went off and we have to respond a certain way. So I apologize and what the woo. And she was like, I understand and what the woo. But it made us closer because I didn't scare her in a way that it was like demonic or unfamiliar in manhood dealing with womanhood. It was just like my mindset was a reaction,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, to an action that took place. So I'm not gonna lie to nobody and say it's easy, and I ain't gonna lie to nobody and say it's hard. It's determined on how long you've been incarcerated, because we're programmed to respond to a certain thing in order for us to stay alive,
exactly.
if that makes sense.
That makes all the sense in the world. Now, being that you have that mentality from being incarcerated for that amount of time and having to get out and still have that mentality, to a certain degree, um, being around your kids, how
Mhm.
did how did your kids find you? How did they relate to you coming out of, that war zone? You know what I'm saying? They see their warrior father coming out this war zone after all these years. You know what I'm saying? And they're finally able to be around you without any constrictions or anything because you're out there with them now. But you a warrior. You know what I'm saying? You have that mentality. How did they relate to you? How did they relate to their father?
Okay, so the first thing in fatherhood, as we know as real men, is the ability to protect. Bottom line, I don't care about how they reverse the roles or provide, but the ability to protect. That's what fatherhood was in our ancestral days, and dealing with the African ancestors is protection. A woman or a vulnerable child want to know that they're safe to be protected. So in that essence, um, they did their own homework, like, talk to a few people that they know, and oh yeah, I found out you was in prison with him, and I linked up with them, and they had put me to the side and be like, yeah, your son had a million questions about you and what the woo, but I had nothing good, but to say about you and what the woo. I said all men search for a moment to where they can put you in a position to where they don't have to listen. And so they look for the weakness in your character. And I told all my sons, you're not gonna find that. I said, but however, I can meet you halfway because you're hurt about a lot of things, and hurt is confusion. It's a sense of confusion in male childs. They don't understand what they hurt about, but we understand it because our absence play a significant role in their lives. So me and my sons, we done got into it majorly because it's always deal with the absence. But then I tell them to go to the mindset of, was I a deadbeat or was I absent? Oh no, you was always there and you did that, but that don't mean nothing. Woo. I said, okay, so can I control the fact that the judge gave me this amount of time? I said, because the life that I live was a choice, and the same choice that you guys making right now. And I say now, I got grandbabies. I say now, when you finally fall from the choices that you're making now, how you feel would change, because it changed when I finally got incarcerated and understood what my father went through. So the only thing we can do is break the cycle. Because other than that, you young and you having fun and you doing your thing. I'm not knowing that. I'm knowing by the grace of God you will become a grown man one day. But we don't really look that far as black men. Like white people look and have savings and bonds and different little things. When he turn this age, he get this. When he turn this
That's
age,
true.
I'm saying as a black man, we like, oh, he a low. Look how he stand. Oh, nigga, get him over the nigga. You better not duck. Nigga swinging woo woo. But then I finally hit a reality. All my sons became grown men. My daughters became grown women. So I had to reestablish a relationship, if that makes sense to those viewers. So I established a relationship without compromising who I am as a man, and who I am as a father. You get what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
think I got some of the most beautiful relationships. For some, I got a
yeah,
couple of kids that feel a certain kind of way, but I could just say for some to be a realist, if that answered the question.
yeah. Have any of your kids by chance happened to fall in your footsteps as far as you know, uh, leading a life of crime, experiencing jail or any of that?
Yes, sir. Lil
So
Don J.
do they utilize that their situation to criticize what you went through?
No, it's more of shame because I got my oldest son played basketball and went to Utah and played basketball. He went to college. He was the first Brooks. Him and my nephew was the first Brooks that broke the curse of the gang curse and went to college and everything. So in college, he found a way to try the way to pay his way through college.
Mm,
We're just gonna say that.
yeah.
But he was really like a good kid, did whatever and whoop whoop whoop. However, I told him certain things I didn't appreciate and got on him on that, and then he used my past as that. But oh, you did this and whoop whoop whoop. I thought you'd be understandable. Whoop, whoop. I was like, nah, it's just the fact that I did enough time for all you guys to where you despise the absence of a father figure in the home, and you got boys. So I'm thinking like, that should be enough because man, you trying to fix what you think I broke when
Exactly.
I just got handcuffed and they told me I gotta do this time to where I didn't walk out your life. They took me out your life. And then here
Exactly.
you is, got a better spoon, and you want to live something that I ain't even taught you. I say, but since you living it, son, whoop, 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 and whoop, whoop, whoop. The very same things that I told him about was the same things that got him cracked.
Mm,
Because I never laced him to be a thug or be in the game. You get what I'm saying? Or to do
yeah.
the things he did. And the same thing for my baby son. Once they do what they do, I lace them one time. If you can't listen, you don't understand. Like all my sons, I said, I know all of y'all. Because homies that came back and asked me and told me, you got a son, whoop, whoop, whoop. Man, they inquiries at an all-time high. I said, because y'all want to hear something bad so bad. Because I be on y'all so bad. I said, but the only bad is me being bad and getting caught up and being absent from your life. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are they even with that being a fact and being beyond your control of how much time you was given, you know what I'm saying? Are they what was they willing to at least meet you halfway, to at least give the opportunity to build that bridge?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of them. All of them. Excuse me. All of them. I could truly say that just going to school myself, understanding the psychology behind men's to boys, boys to men, I knew it was something in them just even fucking with me that they wanted that um to be solidified and do my dad love me, do my dad care about me. However, resentment seems to outweigh love because no matter what, anytime you feel a void of love, resentment gonna always be the better factor in that situation, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I can honestly be honest that they really was susceptible to reconciling any um situations or problems or you know anything that stood in the way of our relationship. So yeah, they was inclined for that for sure.
Hey, I know that you work with a lot of incarcerated people, and you like to get a lot of people's stories out there, the voiceless. That's what I like to call us. The people that that usually wouldn't have a voice is now able to get their stories out there. You know what I mean? You provide that platform for those people that would be voiceless without it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you play such a crucial role in trying to provide that service for people, man. What is it that inspired you to do that outside of you going through your own situations with the jail system?
So my thing is this: everybody really got a story. Everybody really got a vision. Everybody got a truth, and everybody got a lie. I would say. Now, it's two sides of the bar: a realist and an idealist. An idealist, the most beautiful creatures. They see a toothpick, a tree, and everything that's paper, toothpicks, and etc. And we see a tree as a tree. Being incarcerated and having a story behind a story, it always seemed to be everybody's story. So we don't have many people, um, what I'm saying, to reach out to and talk to. So I remember watching um it was Morgan Freeman. It was a prison picture, and they was mimicking and saying he ain't here. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it, and it was like funny. But I got a cousin that got life without, and the coldest thing about this is like I know he didn't do it
Yeah,
because we know who did it. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then here he do walk it off, be a soldier in all aspects of his life, and we still gonna live by the honor code because we dealt with a lot of wicked peace. Reggie Wright shot. Make sure his name go out there. All them Reggie Wright police is wicked, and
Mm,
they still been wicked all the way to the Tupac murders and everything. And woo. So, what inspired me is you tell your own story. So I don't tell it and be considered a snitch or tell it to be, for publicity. But however, I'm gonna hold my ground. Whether the homies feel some kind of way for, like, just say we said Six the rapper, and I let him expose and tell his story. A lot of people like, oh man, that's a child molester. You had him on that. No, he in prison and he got a voice, and he want to tell his story. He want to tell his side, whether you go for it or whether you deal with it or not. Because to every good is bad, and to every bad is good. It's people that out there that just was at the scene of the crime and really didn't do it, and they still not snitching, but they want more investigation. They want more people to believe in them. So that inspired me to be the voice of the incarcerated.
mm. Okay, okay. That's a deep one, man. Um, I look at the work that you do, right? Because
Mm.
you had a story on there with the female uh recently. I can't remember her name, but uh she was telling her story, man, and I found that to be like so dope because you
Pretty
didn't
face.
just stick to the huh?
Her name was Pretty Face, but I can't remember the name, but her nickname was Pretty Face.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I like how you was able to tap into the women's prison too, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
give them some shine too. You feel me? Like that was tight. And she had an interesting story behind uh you know her whole existence in the jail system. How was you able to put that together?
So my thing is this, man. I'm always tapping into anybody who has a true, legitimate story. Our number
Yeah,
one thing is even if you're not innocent, you still got a true story. Because
yeah,
before you ever be found guilty or you ever do a crime, it's always a mindset. And I'm always focused on the mindset. When I look at my youth, dealing with my kids, dealing with my daughters, I'm always tuned into the mindset because the real true tree of life is the heart and the mind.
yeah,
And then wherever the mindset is, everything that people throw to you is food, it's mindful. That's why they say be mindful, it's mindful. And
yeah,
either you be persuaded to be better and have an observation that this is the um, deviation of better or the deviation of what look worse or what's bad, is mindful. So mindful. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So putting something together is not something that real people do. We put together a program, we put together a podcast such as yours, and we send enlightenment about letting people speak freely in order for it be no room for contradictions or misunderstandings. And that's where it look articulated or it look fixated or it look like something we rehearse for views and likes and etc. But deep down it's all about we want our people to speak out, have a chance to speak. Don't mean I condone in a lot of things, don't mean I interact with a lot of things, but you have the same opportunity as any other human being to speak your piece, your mind. You feel what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So as far as the podcast go, what more do you plan on putting into it?
Well,
Like, do
right
you
now
plan?
I've been on hold because I have a lot of people from death row that I'm tapped into, and um I did a lot of more interviews, and I'm not saying that they interviews are irrelevant or anything like that, but it's like um I'm trying to progress into like just say like every time you would ever want to be on or do on, I hate to say this publicly because it almost sounds like a contradiction, but I just feel that you will have more impact on a person going into that direction by you being down so long and by you being able to still continue to be relevant and by you still being able to be a person of honor and by you still being a person a go-to type person. So on my things, like I got a lot of things ready, but I'm not really into the likes are aggressively just putting stuff on and put stuff on, putting content on, even though it's content, it's not exactly relevant at the moment. Cause
Yeah,
I got a lot of brilliant dudes that come on and do a lot of things, and then they text me back like, "Hey, bro, what's going on? I ain't heard none of my people ain't seen nothing." What I was like, just bro, give me a minute because I got pieces that I'm working with and doing already dealing with the death row and people who having life sentence. Because the mindset of that, we gotta let our youth know like they giving you life, my nigga. Even if you make it back, whatever number in front of the L, you almost gonna really bring that. And that's the part where they winning on us. So it became my more center of approach, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you you touched on something that definitely needs to be spoke on and needs to be put out there because the way that it's being orchestrated right now is designed for okay, all the ones that has done all this time and served all this time, we're gonna try to find a way to filter them out. But at the same token, we're filtering out to make space, just enough space for those that see these
Mhm.
dudes that has been going through this for years. You still decide to go out and commit a crazy crime, we're gonna have some space for you. We're gonna make sure we have space for you, and we're
Mm,
gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? Because their filter system it's a smoke screen because all that filter system is doing is just filtering out to make room for you young dudes that
to
want to
come on
go out
in.
there and think you slicker than slick, and they got a space for you. They changing laws for the old, not for y'all, for the
Okay.
old. So don't be twisted into thinking that you can go do something and get away with it and get out in a few years because that's not the way that it go. I am here to
Mm,
let you know that. And if you need any further proof on that, please, it's all online. It's all
man,
online.
man, speak on it. Speak on it. On me. It's a
Yeah, man.
that
It's
revolving
important.
door. We call it that perpetual cycle, and it's like um, I call it the um, it's a OG clock. The pen man, I forgot the name of it, but it's like the clock that tick tock come back tick tock, but it's that effect. Excuse me, my brain got lost on there, but it'll come to me. But anyway, it deals with like a swing of things. You're gonna win now to lose later, or lose now, you know what I'm saying, to win later. And the thing is, as you stated, they gonna always feel that the old is rehabilitated, or we just, you know, can't move, or more not inclined to do a crime because they follow the rates of the recidivism rate, and know that older people are people who did a certain amount of time. They more inclined to just get out, stay out, and do what they do. So the youngsters is really a renewal of us. And if you look at life and you start the pendulum swing, the pendulum, that's what it was. But you look at life, it's like we really all them youngsters. Everybody that coming in there 18, 19, 20, that's us. That's a repeat.
Reincarnated.
Yeah.
Reincarnated all over
Reincarnate.
again.
That's a repeat of us. So
Yeah. I see it all the time. So so what you say about having to break it the cycle is something that we have been trying to figure out how to do for the longest. But I think it has more to do with, being able to provide programs and jobs, different opportunities and shit for these young dudes to look at and be able to pick and choose from. You know what I mean? I don't think it's enough that's out there for them to pick and choose from. And that's something that we got to start making sure that is provided. If there's nothing for them to look forward to get into, then the next best thing is to go out and do something silly. You know what I'm saying? And that's the last thing that we want you to do because we know what's going to come with that. You feel
so
me? So
you do
there's programs out there. They got different little programs out there, but I think it needs to be more, bro.
so I'm gonna ask you honestly, and you're the one interviewing it, taking it, so I gotta ask, you know what I'm saying? Do you really think um between me and you, honestly. And maybe whoever listening got an opinion, you know what I'm saying, they can do a like, thumbs up, whatever. Um, you really think it's the lack of programs that's lacking are causing the slack of aggressive maturity opposed to people taking the easy route of being a thug? Do you think it's really the lack of programs? Do you think it's really, really, really a program that can stop the majority who follow perpetually in our steps?
I think that it's not just one thing. I think it's a combination of things that inspire them to follow in our path. It's not just the job situation. I think it's your whole upbringing. You know what I mean? If that cycle isn't broken, a lot of things in our households have to change for one. You know what I'm saying? Us as parents, the people the ones that are in the kids' lives, you know what I'm saying? You know, we have to change some things about us. You know what I'm saying? And then transition that into the kids. You know what I mean? It starts in the household first there, then the job situation, school education. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a combination of things.
Okay, so I agree on that matter. I believe it's I don't no. Let me see, because one thing about words, you can place yourself in the sense of contradictive. You can be contradictive. Um, I believe it's a multiple of things. Programs, I just feel like it target a particular uh, group. Like I just figure like you have people who be borderline this and borderline this.
Mhm,
You give me a program because I'm borderline this, borderline this. It saves this who's borderline, but
mhm,
dismisses him who's not. So
mhm.
it's gonna always be a partial agreement with me that it's the programs. What I feel is like um, we have lost our way, and it takes a lot of when I say a lot of us real dudes who survived the system to change the concept of the game first. Because if the game is always going to be there, they say don't hate the game, don't hate the players, hate the game. So
Mhm.
as long as somebody is the narrative of the game or the so-called game, it's going to always perpetually exist. So I'm saying that to say that we have to eradicate what actually the game is. We have to eradicate what the ism is. Because no matter what, if you embedded to believe a certain ism, I ain't gonna be able to do nothing for you to take that ism away but give you doubt. That's just like with any religion. If I'm Muslim, Christian, Muslims give Christians doubt, Christians give Muslims doubt, not overtly where everybody talking about it, but at some point, one's truth is one's truth. So the same thing when we dealing with these youngsters, it have to be like we have to eradicate, destroy the very essence of the idea because The first idea to get to this point is greater than the idea of change. It's greater
Mhm.
than the idea of freedom. It's greater than the idea of understanding. It's greater than the idea of emotional state. So a program, I just think it only helps the doubtful or the curious or the non-serious. If is that making sense to you? Is it making
Yeah,
sense?
you make it go. Yeah, that do make sense.
I,
That
I,
do.
I'm trying to make it make sense. It's like
That makes sense looking at it from yeah.
so programs since I've been studying it is a financial um write-off. It's more like government funds and different programs and different little things, and we know for sure being
So let me ask you this. Outside of those programs, what do you and I know it's gonna take more for us to, you know, do more. But besides that, what needs to be done? If the program, we eliminate the programs, what else there is there to be done?
eradication,
What else is needed?
eradication, eradication.
Eradication of the gang, eradication of the gang, period.
We need to eradicate, period. If people understand what eradication is or to eradicate, it's
That means to
like
take out, period.
you go through the bottom of something, remove the soil, the very root of the wickedness, and cut it down. Because I can have a program and be focused on this, and the Wardy get deeper in thugs. Y'all can take a program and get slim, and Compton get deep in thugs. Because no matter what we do and how we do it, that exists. So to eradicate that existence and be like, this is gonna be no more. This is it. We're gonna take that program and that money and put into what we need to do because that's it. Like the reparation thing that they got going on, if they pass that law, it'd be bigger like how all the Indians was able to get, you know what I'm saying, funded for certain things because of what they did do in the land that was taken from them. We
Yeah,
the only race that has not one identification of nothing. And when I say nothing, nothing. Even
that's
in the
real.
industry, that when you go to the industry, what's happening in the industry with the Diddy thing, it's always the top evil seduce the top dog, who seduce the top evil, who create another top dog. And it's a perpetual cycle. So when I'm watching the Diddy thing unfold, this was something that you and I were able to see it coming before it came because we had what we call introspection and time. And
Exactly.
time allows you to sit, meditate, watch, observe, read, educate, understand, retain, and regurgitate everything we once learned and did. It'll make you unlearn what you thought you knew because that's what knowledge is. So just think how deep this situation gonna get and could be dealing with the top officials. Because
Exactly.
when you deal with money and you deal with millionaires and billionaires, you deal with elite. And elite is a word that only describes the upper echelons, the people that's on the top, 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 top.
Yeah.
And when you're on the top, 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 you have some things that you can enjoy indulging in and don't feel guilty about because everybody's doing it, or you have a thing that go totally against what you believe in order to maintain what you have. And that's what we call selling your soul.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if eradication ever took place in any of that, we wouldn't be this far into the ism, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
So
man.
when we talk about programs, it's like program what? Program a robot? Program what already exists? Program what don't exist? What are we programming? You'll give
Yeah.
us all of these things, but you won't give us the ability to eradicate. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, that's true. I mean, looking at it from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? I would much rather have, you know what I'm saying, my reparations rather than a bullshit program. You know what I'm saying? Something that's truly gonna enrich the family lifeline
It's tangible.
from here on out. You
Exactly.
feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it. I understand, bro. For real. Hey, so let me ask you this, man. So what else do you working on right now? You know what I'm saying? That you want to let the people know about. What else you got going on?
Well, my thing is really, I'm finna get more solidified and focused into fitness. I love the podcast on us and everything, but um I've been really like diving into some material and understanding the existence of life in our body and our temples and everything. And you know, excuse me. Um, so I was studying on on some things of how they do the insurance thing and how they have these so-called predicaments of how long a person live and predicate this all on your insurance or how much insurance you can get and what to do. That's becoming a scandal. But then when I research it, how can something so real just really be a scandal? It's not even a scandal. It's just the ignorance of how we see things because we're gonna need insurance because we know that in all um, aspects, the human being dies and go on. We
Yeah,
we 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 can't live forever. So my thing is understanding health and understanding longevity in health and 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 how these things dealing with health really work. So I'm gonna tackle a few things, but I'm like, I'm still keeping the on us, the Voice for Incorporated alive, but I'm venturing off doing other things because my field as a personal trainer is to see people in a healthiest form. And it's just not always just working out, doing squats and lunges or et cetera. It's to educate people on how they body work. Understand what you eating and how you eating is like damaging you mentally and physically and in every aspect. To sum it up in a harsher, the more rough case that you can ever sum it up in is the cause of your early death. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that been my field. I've been so, I don't know, man. I get emotional and I ain't. a soft type dude, but to see a person reach their goal, it stimulates something in me. If you understand what I'm saying, it stimulates something in me. It turns something on in me so deep. And I was like, oh, that's why they say we have a calling or we have something that we do that we enjoy to where it's not work. So um if you can tell, I kind
Exactly.
of like put the podcast on the back burner, but got content waiting to, you know, edit and put out and keep it going because I'm 100% feel the same energy on the voice for the incarcerated and help. We gotta
Yeah.
help our fellow and brother. We gotta have an outlet for them to holler. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, so how can people get in contact with you that might want to book you, for some help in their health and fitness?
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Contact, 916-676-6272. Leave a message. I'm gonna get right back at them. You know what I'm saying? Get right back at them. For sure.
Yeah, man. For anybody that's looking, for a health instructor, you know what I'm saying. Hey, I've seen a couple of his videos, man. He go hard. He makes sure that he get in there and get the job done with it with anybody that he training. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to tap into BG Ali, man. He just gave y'all the number. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tap in with him. Y'all can also catch him on the social media pages too. You on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yes, sir. On Facebook is Don J BG Ali Brooks. Again, Don J BG Ali Brooks. And on Instagram is BG Ali. It's BG underscore Ali underscore 131. BG underscore ALI underscore 131. That's the handle on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap in. Tap
Yeah,
into the
man.
realest. I still have me a sip. I still what I do, but you know what I'm saying? For sure. I stay on what I'm on. You know
Yo,
what I'm
y'all make
saying?
sure y'all tap in with bro, man, because he do good work. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get your mind right. You gonna get your body right. He gonna get your spirit right. He gonna get your soul right. You know what I'm saying? Tap
Man,
in with bro, man. Hey, we gonna go ahead and wrap this up, bro. But this is definitely segment one. We're gonna have some segments coming with you, bro. You know what I'm
for
saying? Because
sure,
you
for
got a lot
sure.
of things going. And like I said, you kind of started me. You know what I'm saying? So we are always locked in forever. You know that. So you got this platform to come to anytime. You're welcome. You know that.
For sure. And I appreciate you having me. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody doing something for the good, I'm with it. And I just appreciate you finding me, you know what I'm saying, worth to be on your platform. You know what I'm saying? On
Always.
that note, have a blessed night. Anybody that's watching, y'all have a blessed night as well.
Always. Thank you, man, for attending the round table with us. You know what I'm saying? And I thank everybody, man, for stepping back to the round table. You know what I'm saying? And tapping in, and if you haven't already done it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell button, be the first one, at the round table anytime we go live or I drop a reaction video, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. And like I always tell everybody, if you're out in traffic and this video happened to drop late, you know what I'm saying? Slow it down, take your time. The objective is to get home in one piece and get home straight. If this video dropped during the day and you're out in traffic, still slow it down, man. The objective is to get home in one piece. You and everybody else that's in traffic, man. So think for yourself, think for everybody else. On that note, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. To the next time we bring it back to the round table. Love y'all, man. Triple gang.
Peace.
Hydro.